It's Alex with Only the Beat with Armin van Buuren, who just headlined EDC New York. How was that experience for you? Is it any different from the last time you played, or?
Yeah, it was bigger and more. I can't believe it, man. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the sheer size of that thing. New York and LA are the biggest markets for me in the world. If you look at like ticket sales, but not only music sales, most listeners for my radio show. This is where it all started for me. I mean, Frank Sinatra is right. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And I owe a lot to the fans in New York. A lot of the community is here. There's a big trance following in New York City. That's amazing to see. Really amazing to see.
Do you have a preference between playing like a festival set or a more intimate set, one or another, as far as?
I always compare it to, like, you know, a festival set is a bit like you're getting your quick fix of sushi. And, you know, a club set is more, you know, you're going to go out with your friends, go to a dinner, have a starter, have a main course, have a dessert. That's kind of that kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
It's a little bit like that. So you don't want to eat the same meal every day. And that's what I like about festivals. You know, it's short, it's quick, it's, you know, people. I played after Nicky Romero, did an amazing job, and then you have to sort of follow up from that and continue, and you have only 1 hour. I mean, what can you do in 1 hour? But that's also a challenge. You know, you play a little bit of the of what Nicky was playing, you continue from there, and you build it up towards a more trancey sound.
What's your next goal? I mean, you've been nominated #1 DJ in the world 5 times. You've headlined basically every festival there is now. What keeps you driving forward? You've been nominated for a Grammy. Where's the next step?
Well, if that would be my goal, if my goal would only be to headline more festivals and to get a Grammy nomination, then yeah, then I would be done.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's not about the achievements. It's not about the resume. It's about the music itself. I get a kick from making music, and don't tell this to my manager, but even if I wouldn't get paid for gigs, or even if I wouldn't make any money anymore with streams or with downloads, I would still make music because, you know, there's something about it. It's my passion. It's the only thing I really enjoy doing in life. It's what I really want to do for my job. You know, make music, be creative. I think that's one of the most beautiful things. The fact that a human being can be creative is so beautiful. I love it.
What do you want to give to your fans? I know music, but like, are you introducing me to new music? Are you making new music for me? What?
I'm not trying to force anything onto anybody. I'm not making music per se for you or for a clubber in that sense. I wish I could. The problem is you're not there when I'm making the music. You understand? So the only thing I can do is I can only make music for myself. So I can only make something that I really like and then test it out with a crowd. And sometimes I'm horribly disappointed because it simply doesn't work. And sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised because, you know, everybody's singing along and raving along and hyping up the track. So I want to stress that music is an organic process, and for me, even though, for example, I might have an idea of a track that has to be 138 BPM, has to have a certain melody or whatever, the way I look at music, some people may not agree with me, but I strongly feel that music sort of writes itself. If you're open for it, if you work for it, but then it's like a pieces of the puzzle fall together kind of thing. That's also the beauty of it, that you really can't control. Of course you can, but then it's a tiring process. Then it's just a fight between you and the elements. I can't get the sound I want. It doesn't sound, you know. But if you're just open for anything that happens, and of course it has to sound good, but it will if you just if you're open to new possibilities and new creative elements that sort of flow at you.
Where are you looking for more inspiration or influence in your music? Are you looking to any particular genre or artists, or where are you trying to involve new life, I suppose?
I'm not actively, like, well, sometimes in the A&R meetings we have some sort of a wish list that I could say, like, okay, I would really like to work with this and this artist, but end of the day, it's always usually like either I send an instrumental to an artist and I get a really beautiful song back, or I sit down with an artist that I admire or I like and then we start writing a song. But it's never really like, okay, you know, let's call Trevor Guthrie and make a track like such and such. It's more about sort of an, yeah, it exists. It just happens. How do I say that? It's hard to explain. It just happens sometimes when you're working with somebody that you admire. I mean, yes, of course, we're constantly working with big names and try to approach them and see if they're interested in working together. But even for big names, usually they rather wake up to a track that's already halfway finished or something, so they can actually hear something. Then, like with Sophie Ellis-Bextor, when we worked together, she already had the song, and then it was sort of easy to go from there. So I'd rather like to say that I'd rather go for the song than for the artist. The song is always most important.
How would you introduce them to it? What would be your quintessential way?
It's the classical music of the 21st century. I mean, it's the classical music for. It's all about the melody. It's about the emotion. It's about the drive. That's really what trance is for me. It's melody driven, emotional, euphoric, uplifting music. All right. Does that sum it up for you? A little bit?
Yeah, I think it sums it up.